Oh shoot. All right, so check this out. This is the aerodynamic RPG-7 40 millimeter rocket grenade launcher. It doesn't fire the rocket, but shoots grenades. Let's talk about it. And if you're new here, I'm Ryan. This channel focuses on airsoft comm block weapons, stuff like the RPG, the AK, and everything in between. I like to focus on it. So if you're into that kind of stuff, sub to the channel. Now let's dive into this RPG-7 little powerhouse here. You know, there's people online saying that this is just a $450 shotgun. And to be honest, you're right, it is. But there's more. I'll explain at the very end or closer to the end of the video. First, I'll show you what people are griping about and why there's a lot of people out there saying not to buy this. However, if you want to be cool, cooler than those people talking like that, get one. Get you one. I promise you won't be disappointed. So let's just do a walk around the unit before we even look at loading it or look at why people are saying this is just a shotgun. So 40 millimeter tube there. We'll bring it around to this side. So we've got our sights here. Adjustable sights here and here. Pretty cool. I like that. Back here, this needs tightened up. It's making a lot of ruckus. When you got a sling on here, it'll shut up. But for now, it's just being absolutely obnoxious. We do have a mounting rail here for sights, for an RPG-7 sight. And I found a few guys online that were selling some old surplus RPG-7 sights. And, you know, I actually saw a guy selling night vision for one of these. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. However, I was not lucky enough to score that. That would have been the coolest thing ever to have night vision for an RPG-7. Epic. However, I did find sighting systems for this. I think I'm going to pick one up. They're roughly $200, so I will snag one when I see one come up because I think it's going to just complete this setup, especially just looking the part for, you know, having an RPG. You obviously have both your handles here. Everything's made out of wood. Everything's made out of steel. It feels great. The construction's decent. Obviously, the black coating that they put on the tube isn't great. That honestly was from me assembling it and disassembling it and just stuff like that. I had to take it apart and then reassemble everything. So it did scratch easily. That's kind of one thing where I'm like, you know, that kind of sucked. I'm going to give it a thumbs down for that. This thing came completely disassembled. I'm looking at it like, yeah, what am I supposed to do with this? It was like a tube and some pieces of wood, and every one of these was just not attached. And I was like, oh, great. So with some Allens and a lot of willpower, I put it together. However, moving right along, got our flip-up sights, like I said, rail to mount the sighting system on there if you want to do that. We have our trigger right here, and you see when I push the trigger, this lock actually falls. So this is just going to push up into your 40 mic shell and fire whatever projectile it is you are shooting. So that's enough about the launcher itself. Let's look at the projectile, and then we'll talk more about why this thing is so freaking epic a little bit later on. But anyways, grab a multiple shot shell here, 40 millimeter shell. These are awesome. Kind of not. They're kind of lame, honestly. They're cool in like an M203 if you're clearing buildings and stuff like that. But here is where the magic happens. So you can't fire this shell off. It does not shoot this. And now I can see my my viewers all dropping off. Well, if you can't shoot the rocket, we don't want to watch this video. Hang in there. So it opens up. There's a long rod that goes the whole way through this. You can see this channel goes right to the trigger unit. It actually has a trigger in there, and that pushes on the 40 mic shell. So here's the shell. So you load your shell in there, take your safety cap off when you're ready to shoot some dudes. Now you can put the shell on. Now this just gives you the ability to use this like you know, an RPG-7. You know, you can load the shell on, look the part, and then shoot a shotgun blast. I am never ever going to use this. I've done it in the backyard just for funsies, like, oh, look at what it can do. It's fun, it pops, it shoots some BBs. But it's a party trick. It's just a party trick. It looks cool, so that's how that works. And it's got your little safety cap right here, and everything just loads in there, and then you've got this stupid plastic fake projectile. So that's that. Your other option, and this is where the creative juices are going to get flowing for some of you, where you're going to be like, oh, I see where you're going with this. So you don't have to just use that in particular. You don't have to use the tube itself. You can actually load. I just pointed that right at my face. It is empty. I don't keep these. There we go. All right, so if we aim it back, we can actually push the shell down in the tube. It locks in place, and then we can fire it like so. So I could shoot a projectile right out of this. So I just, flip my sights up, get on target, and yeet whatever I'm shooting at. Now I know some of you went, oh, well that makes sense. That dude on Airsoft GI that was talking trash, what about tagging rounds, bro? Like seriously. So you get some tagging rounds. Oh, see where we're going with this? Could you imagine shooting tagging rounds out of this? Freaking, yeah. So everything starts making sense, and actually that's what I'm going to be using this RPG-7 for. I'm not going to be using the shell unless I modify the shell to work with the tagging rounds. I wonder, I might be able to just cut the end off so it really looks cool. You load the shell, or you load the rocket in. The end of the rocket's missing, and you actually launch the tagging rounds out of that. So there might be some modifications. If I can get another one of those plastic shells, I might actually do that. So, and I'll show you on this camera what I'm talking about. Obviously we've got the ability to load the shell in here. So kind of wherever that tagging round would be, because the tagging round's rifled, the tagging 40 millimeter shell itself is rifled. So in theory, all the heavy lifting is being done by the tagging shell, tagging launcher, basically. Well, this becomes the tagging launcher. I digress. So we just cut the RPG-7 fake rocket. We just cut that down. So like right here with a table saw, something like that is plastic. It's going to cut that no problem. So then the shell would be sitting in there. We're going to go up here a little bit too. All you need is the end of that shell just kind of sitting, right in this area. So that way you could load this in and then fire around. And if you had multiples of these, it would look really cool with your kit actually having an RPG-7 like bag that's designed to hold the rounds. So you could throw together a really cool kit and then just be able to rapid fire, a few tagging rounds, time delay, something like that, which I did get my P-top license, so I can have, shoot, whatever, use, and ambush did okay, the tagging rounds. So that is really exciting. Yeah, so this is a giant shotgun. If you buy this and you use it just with this, it's a giant shotgun. So I get it, I do. So I mean, all of this is hypothetical until I actually get the tagging rounds and test it. It might not work 100% how we want it to work, but in theory, and I mean, if the tagging rounds fire flawlessly out of M203s, I've watched guys do it. This is the exact same concept as an M203. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like content like this and you want to see this in action, sub to the channel. I will have actually Toucan Defense ordered a bunch of rounds for the tagging launchers. He got the dummy rounds, so the training rounds. So I'm going to see if I can snag some from him, sneak over there and steal them, and we'll start testing this so you guys can see it, so I can see it, because I'm really excited about that. But it is not just a giant shotgun. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like I said, sub to the channel to see more. I'll catch you guys on the next one, and tell Bam Bam to chill down in the comments section. He needs to chill.